big part of the conversation that we had last time was to sort of really talking about the future, and I think that's something
Mhm.
that really excites our audiences. And obviously, I'm going to start chucking out a bunch of buzzwords now to get people excited, like the NFTs, yeah, and like Web3 gaming and
Mhm.
metaverse and things like that. But in terms of its applicability to esports, they really are something that I believe it's gonna need to be discussed and could have a big part in the betting world.
Right.
So, in your opinion, like let's talk about Web3 gaming. How do you see
Right.
Web3 gaming fitting into the esports landscape? You might need to explain sort of Web3 gaming, if that's okay
Yeah,
from your
sure.
perspective. Yeah.
So, Web3 gaming is sitting on the blockchain, and it is, in theory anyway, a decentralized approach to gaming or to anything, right? And so it really is. That's Web3. A lot of the Web3 is play to earn, which is you play and you earn money. You can take that value out of the business, or you can transfer it, et cetera, et cetera. That right there is a very significant problem in the game business. This is something that doesn't get the kind of attention that it should be getting. But the state of Washington is just basically they're going after loot boxes, and there are a lot of things out there going on with regards to loot boxes and creating value. The golden rule for game publishers is you cannot allow value to be imported or exported from a game. It has to be four-walled. The minute you allow someone to earn money and then take that value, earn money, or earn some sort of credit, and use that credit in the outside world, you're moving into a territory you don't want to be in, because governments are very concerned about things like money laundering and all these types of stuff, and it goes on, right? So the game publishers have four walls, and they do everything they can to do that. The entire premise of Web3, right, is to allow people to earn and to take that, whatever they earn, and use it, which is diametrically opposed to what the governments, and it's not just the US government, it's Belgium, it's, Germany, it's a lot of countries are really cracking down on this. So that's a big problem for Web3. That's a real big problem for anything that's play to earn. Because they're all based on this concept that you could do it. Now, they say it's decentralized, et cetera, et cetera. But as we see, the governments are cracking down on that. Having said that, right, I'm very bullish on Web3 games. I do believe that, it's just going to take time to get there, to figure out what an entertaining game is, to manage around all these regulatory issues, et cetera, et cetera. There's some real advantages to having a game on the blockchain. Of course, we have to stop talking about it as Web3 and blockchain, because the world doesn't really give a crap that it's, they're playing on Web3, right? They just want to play a cool game. But there are some real advantages to it with regards to, what you can own, how you can own it, how you can transfer it, et cetera, et cetera. But the legal issue is a biggie. It's a biggie, and it's not being considered the way it should be considered. The metaverse, which is the other the other sort of term that's being overused, right, is very bullish on this concept of the metaverse, but that's because I'm in the game business, and I think the winners are game companies. The key, for my opinion, on being successful outside of having a great product and getting people engaged and having a lot of people around, the key is this concept of interoperability, which means that if you buy an avatar in one place and you buy clothing for your avatar in one place, then you can take it to another place in the metaverse. That's the way we live our lives, right? When you buy something from a store, you get to wear it anywhere you want. So that is going to be the key piece to it. The blockchain and the metaverse, right? The sort of the way a lot of these companies are setting these up is that there's no interoperability, right? And that's going to be a problem. This is why I look at a company like Epic, right? I think Epic is perfectly placed for it because they have Fortnite, huge audience, very cool game, very engaging, lots of people playing, et cetera, et cetera. It's only getting better. And they have an engine, right? And the engine is interoperability. So all these individuals who are building games on their engine, right, the Unreal Engine, conceivably right, will be able to be part of the same metaverse. Now that begins to be interesting, right? Because if I buy a digital outfit from Blueberry and I put that on my avatar and I walk around and I want to go to see the Nets game, using my avatars from Fortnite in their world, and I want to create my home so I get that. That's pretty cool stuff, and that's coming.
It's very Ready Player One, isn't it?
It's
That's
very
sort of,
Ready Player One, but this
yeah.
idea of Facebook going and these avatars, I don't buy that. I don't buy all these kind of one-off metaverses. But the game companies and look, Roblox is a great. All these companies are all very well positioned because they understand the user. They have an
Mhm.
entertaining product and it's engaging,
I
and they
think
know how to make money.
I think if we see where we are now, like what's
Mhm.
the closest connection we have as consumers to a metaverse concept? It is computer games, right?
Absolutely,
And these
100%.
computer games, the publishers are spending hundreds of millions
Yep.
of dollars to develop them and to continually develop them. That technology is accelerated
Right,
like
right.
exponentially since the sort of 80s, 90s, and
Well,
it hasn't slowed down. So
right.
it makes perfect sense to think everyone's using the same engine, and there'll be some sort of cross collaboration surely
Right.
from the developers publishers. So that's very exciting to hear. I mean, when
Right.
is there anything in the metaverse like to sort of bring it back more to the esports wagering or sort of betting, like are we thinking sort of like would that be a part of a metaverse component or
Oh, absolutely, 100%. If you go back to the Epic model, right?
Mhm.
You're in Fortnite. You're going and you're going to watch the Nets play, right? And the Nets and Epic has a distribution relationship with the distributor of the Nets games. There's no reason at all why you can't engage in wagering while you're watching that game within the world. And
Mhm.
people might ask, why wouldn't you just turn on the television and watch the game? And the answer is you might. But there's a whole audience out there. I have a 15-year-old son. He doesn't even know how to use our television. I mean, we have like an 85-inch television in there. He does movie night with us once a week, once every 2 weeks, but he never watches television, right? So, but he's on Fortnite and he's playing, whatever he's playing. So if you take it to him, you drop that in his world. That's the way the leagues, in my opinion, are going to connect with 15-year-old boys. It's not by trying to get them to turn on a game. It's by
Mm.
integrating the game into the world that they're in.